Hey guys, Boxy Brown here with another quick little Dark Age of Camelot instructional video. Right now I just want to go over some advanced techniques for Necromancers, one in particular that I call the double cast or the stacking cast. And basically what this is a way to take advantage of the Necromancer spell queue to cast two spells at the same time, resulting in higher burst damage. So the way the Necro spell queue works, the pet can only take one action at a time, but you can have two spells in the queue. Most of the time, you don't want to actually make use of the queue. Because what can happen is you can get interrupted mid-cast. So say for example I'm casting my in-combat life tap, or I'm out of combat life tap here. Oops, let me scroll this down. And you can see, right, we'll begin casting after its current action is finished. And now look, oh no, it's interrupting me, but I still have a spell in my queue. I need to wait for the pet to swing before I can do something like Facilitate Painworking, because that counts as an action for the spell queue. So that's the way the spell queue works. You can have two things in there, but they can only take one action at a time. So while you may be thinking this cuts my effectiveness in half, you're not wrong, but it also allows you to do things well, basically you can take advantage of it. And how you can do that is by queuing up two spells at the same time, namely an out-of-combat spell, like your out-of-combat life tap, and an in-combat spell, like your in-combat life tap. One of which is casted for the shade, and one of which is instant for the shade. So when the casted one goes off, the instant one follows right behind it, and you hit for big burst damage. Reminds me a lot of warlocks with their primary and secondary spells. Obviously different mechanic, but the result is kind of the same. Let me show you how it looks. So, boom, 1 and 2. See that big damage right there? Right? Two casts going off at the same time. 368 with a crit of 202 and 199, all at the same time. So that's 700 damage basically from one cast. That's pretty big damage. Even without the crit, that would have been 500 damage. Well, actually, it would have been 550 or so without the crit. And now keep in mind, within the Facilitate Painworking window, you can do that up to 4 times at level 50. So you really want to be making use of this trick. One thing to keep in mind, like I said, don't spam your spells. Oh, well, we got a little guy over here. What's he doing? Hey, buddy. Let's see if I can get a target on him. Hey, friend. How are you? Oh, he's going to charge away. He's going to run to guards. You see what I'm talking about here? Very powerful mechanics. As you can see, this guy is running away. He cannot handle the heat. So that's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Bursted that big damage in his face, and he did not want any part of it. Looks like he's going to go suicide to the keep. Yep, okay. Still got the realm points for that. That's exactly what I'm talking about right there, guys. Necros are a very strong class. You can toe-to-toe pretty much any melee in the game. You absorb a lot of damage, and with your life taps you return a lot of health. What was I talking about right before that guy showed up? The double cast? So yeah, basically that's it. Just make sure that you're managing your spell queue. That's pretty much the only trick. When you start spamming your spells, the ones that are instant cast for the shade and casted for the servant, that's when you start messing up. As soon as you have more spells in your queue than you can handle, your Facilitate Painworking isn't going to fire when you want it to. It's basically just going to be bad times. So make sure that if you're spamming spells, the only spells you're spamming are your in-combat spells. At my level, it's called Shriek of the Dead. Your spec, Spec, Death Sight, Life Tap, the in-combat one. And I guess you can do it with your hot as well, although I don't see why you would. The hot's powerful. It's a higher delve than the purple friar hot, and it's a baseline spell, but it's not really one you would spam. You really only need it once at the beginning of the fight, and then maybe once again halfway through. I'm getting off point. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Just manage your spell queue. Makes playing Necro a lot easier when you're not spamming spells. You won't mess anything up. Just think of everything as one clear, defined action, and think of it in terms of spell 1 and spell 2 in your queue. Right? If you're mid-cast, if you have a queued up cast and you get interrupted, make sure you passive that pet, make it attack, clear that spell queue before you hit Facilitate Painworking. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you'll have a spell in the queue, Facilitate Painworking will be spell 2, and your previous spell will be spell 1. Then you're going to hit FP, and you're going to hit another spell. Your FP is going to fire, and you're going to have to wait a full combat swing timer, which is like half or more of your Facilitate Painworking duration in order to start casting. You don't want that to happen, so you don't want to be spamming your spells. You don't want to be queuing your spells. The only time you want to queue anything is when you're using the trick I just showed you, the stacking cast in and out of combat life tap at the same time. Alright guys, that's it. Happy hunting. If you're new to Dark Age of Camelot, you've never tried it, head over to darkagecamelot.com. The client download is free and you get 14 free days. If you're a returning player, head over to darkagecamelot.com and claim your 7 free days for returning players. Come check it out, guys. The action's good. Check out the new Agraman Island, which is now called Ellen Vannon, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. They redid it, new textures, new geometry, a whole new keep, new objectives, lots of little ruined structures to play around with if you're a solo. So yeah, guys, now's the time. Come back and give it a shot. All right.